everyone, Sophia here. Welcome back to my Etsy shop, Frenchy and Tubby. I'm going to feature 7 items going in the shop tomorrow, Friday at 5 p.m. I'll put the date right here because my brain is not functioning today. But what I can tell you is that this is one of the most exciting weeks in Frenchy and Tubby. I got some really cool stuff today. Antiques, vintage, really vintage, almost antique stuff, glass, porcelain, crystal, decorative item. Let's start with the big find, okay? That's what's in the thumbnail. So I'm telling you right now, if you want to take a screenshot and go online, I am the only one selling it. There's nobody else selling it right now. This thing is about as rare as it gets. This is a Royal Hager pottery fish platter. So it was meant to serve whatever you want. Fish sticks, perhaps. It would make sense. And then you put the dipping sauce right here. This is the color they refer to as Misty Mint. This was issued in the very early 1960s. And I'm going to insert a picture of the catalog from 1965 where you can see it. The number is 854-H. Hager Pottery, mid-century modern. Yeah, he's not upside down. This is so kitsch, so cool, and super rare, very sought after. Not only that, it is in excellent, pristine condition. There's no crazing, no chip, no hairline, nothing. It is amazing. Let me put my specs on. I'm so excited about this piece. I recognized it as soon as I saw it when I was sourcing. Okay, so let's start with the back. Royal Hager 854-H, copyrighted US of A. Let's look at the glaze. It's a green glaze, kind of like a gradient. Some people refer to it as a speckle. I don't see too much speckle on it, but you can see the brown, so there's different tints in the glaze right here. With the big scale, look at the tail. And I'll say it again, it is in unbelievable condition. There's nothing wrong with it, nothing. There's one part right here at the bottom that's a glaze bubble. That happened at manufacturing. Other than that, perfect condition. Now, I have fished a couple of times in my life, or went fishing, and I have to be honest, I wouldn't be able to tell you what kind of fish it is, though I'm going to assume it's a carp. Probably wrong. That looks like a carp to me, or a giant sunfish, which they're usually no bigger than this. That's all you can get in my area. Look at this thing. How cool is this? So take a screenshot, right? And then try to find it. Because I'm telling you, I'm the only one. No one has it. So I don't know if it's because they are damaged, so collectible that whoever has it is not selling it. They are awesome. It has feet, all 4 of them, so it's going to be a little bit lifted. And you're not bound to having just fish stuff, okay? I said fish sticks because it makes sense, but you can do whatever you want in there. You can do chips and salsa, you can do guacamole and other chips, or you can do kids in a blanket and ketchup and, you know, do whatever you want. Or you can put it on the wall, or you can just have it on display. This is a kind of piece from Hager Pottery, and you know I absolutely love Hager. I collect the Madonnas. That is so unusual. Most people collect vases and planters from Hager, but they did a lot of pieces like this. And there's some iconic pieces by Hager. The fish is one of them. The Panther TV light is another one, or the lamp. And then, of course, all the Madonna planters. This is awesome. Let's look at the glaze again. Oh, this is so cool. Now, I know that some of you have fishermen in your family. I think they would love having something like this. And then, why not use it on Easter? And put chocolates and stuff. Because, I don't know, it just feels like that would be a great Easter decor. I know it's not a bunny, I get that, but it's just the color, that pastel mist mint or misty mint. I think it's mist mint. It's not a common color for Ager. They usually do darker greens, but this one is really cool. Okay, so understanding it's fairly long. Let me look at it. It's 18" by 8, so 18 by 8 by 175. All right, so large box. It's going to be packed as though it's going to the moon. Okay, that's usually how I pack my stuff. It's a rare item and it's fabulous. Okay, so that was item number 1. This is so amazing. So I found this, and initially, from the little bit of research that I did on the spot, some people refer to it as a Steuben glass. It's too thick for Steuben. So I don't think it's Steuben. It's glass. It's mouth blown. It's a vase, but you can also put a candle in it if you want. It's iridescent, a yellow color. I don't think it really shows on screen. It definitely will on pictures because I just edited the post and you can really see the yellow. But it's got like a gold iridescence to it. It's Tiffin from the 1930s. So it's almost an antique, but we're going to call it vintage. This is Tiffin glass. Let me see if I remove my light, if you're going to see the yellow in it. Okay. But speaking of removing the light, we're going to go into darkness because, where's my dark light? It's not uranium, so don't be afraid. Take that out. This is manganese. It has manganese minerals in it, so it makes it glow. Look at this. How cool is this? I want to keep it because you know that Scott and I collect try to show it. There's a picture, there's a particular angle where I got it on pictures where you can really see the whole thing glowing. I have a little bit more of my it's almost nighttime, but I still have some daylight outside. So maybe if I go like this. Okay. So it's manganese that they put in it. It glows like uranium, but it's not uranium. Tiffin glass, 1930s. I'm gonna blind you. Sorry. And blind myself. Okay. So what's cool about this is that because it's mouth blown, the glass is not going to be super perfect. There's a couple of bubbles in it, which gives it character, if you ask me. And then there's like this thing right here that's like an inclusion. I don't know if you can see it. I think it's cool. And there's a bubble next to it. This is really nice. It's not signed, numbered, or anything. Yeah, there's definitely bubbles, and depending on how you look at it, you can really see the gold. So you can do a vase, flowers. I'm thinking put some flowers that kind of dangle here, or even with spring coming and Easter, I would put hyacinths in here, and then you can do other things. Or you can put a candle. Let me see what the width is of the mouth. Understanding that if you put a candle in there, you're gonna have wax residue. It's about 2 inches. Okay, so you put a votive in there. I would try to find like one of those little votive tray that has a handle and put that in there, because otherwise you're gonna have to clean it, and if the wax goes in here in that part right here, it's gonna be a pain to clean. So yeah, be careful with the candle. Or you can put a big candle that just stays on top and add some stuff here at the bottom. It's gorgeous. So yeah, it's 1930s, considered depression glass, but it's iridescent and it's by Tiffin, and it is amazing. I want to keep it. I want to keep it, and I want to keep the fish. You can probably see too much of the glow with the daylight. So here's your chance to start a collection of glowing glass. And again, not uranium, manganese. All right, when I come back, more glass. So this is quite something. I'm very excited about this. There was a company out of Port Marion, Pennsylvania, that opened in 1904, 1918, something like that. And then they closed. When did they close? I wrote it down. Hold on. I got my little cheat sheet. Here we go. They closed in 2004. It was called House Art Glass. House with a Z. They are the pioneer of picture glass. Glass that is made to, not stained glass, because you know stained glass is pieces of glass like puzzles with the lead in it. They're the ones who started and patented picture glass, meaning art glass that's meant to look like a picture. And they are very well known for that. This is a fabulous piece of art glass. If you collect art glass, paperweights, even stained glass, anything glass that is unusual, Murano, you're going to want this. This is absolutely amazing. This is from the 60s. I'm going to give you as many close-up as I can. Hopefully I will stay in focus. So this is 24 karat gold. It's 2 pheasants. It's a scene, right, with 2 pheasants and some reed. And this is all glass inclusions. And you're gonna have to go on the page to see close-ups that are better than the ones I'm giving you now. But if I show you like the back, for instance, here, you see all of these? These are glass inclusions, meaning that they are little pieces of glass that they add to the main clear one, right? When they mold it and put it into the press. And everything is glass. Do you see all those raised bumps here? It's glass, all of it. And then it's painted over with 24 karat gold. Let me see if I can show it to you. Backlit? Nah. Maybe a little bit. Okay, here you go. All right, so they patented the process of making glass like this. My light is about to fall. I gotta come up with a better system. Look a little bit more professional. Okay. Oof. Okay. So they patented the whole system of doing this. But what's interesting about them is that they were so popular in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. Not just for their art glass, but they were very popular with the government. They did a lot of military lenses, military glass, stuff that went into space. I mean, house art glass was a big deal. Unfortunately, they closed because there's less and less of a demand, and we know what happens with the overseas market, right, taking over. This is phenomenal. I love this. So it's a trinket kind of plate, right, for an entryway. Put a couple of candies on it. Figure out a way to have it on the stand and maybe have some kind of light showing from behind. It's just such an interesting process. I can't stop looking at it because you can really see all the pieces of glass that are added to a flat plate, really. That's what they do. They start with a plate or a big circle. They add all those pieces. They fire it to seal it, and then they press it to get that shape. And once that's done, by hand, they do all of the gold design. Let's put them in the right side up. Do you see this? It's unusual. Port Marion, Pennsylvania, there is a house art glass museum. They are a big deal. MCM, probably 1960s, late 50s, 1960s, art glass by House with a Z. This is beautiful. And they did larger ones, they did square ones. In the 70s, they stopped doing this kind of stuff and they became involved in advertisement, and they did a lot of trinket dishes for companies that were glass, because they were able to not silk screen, but print on glass. So they were doing a lot of things for Campbell's soup. They did things for Pez, Pez candy. Anybody who needed to have like trinket and giftware with their logo on it, that's what they focused on towards the later years, the last 20 something years. But early on, that's what they were doing. Leon was his name, right? Leon House, Port Marion, Pennsylvania. Beautiful. Okay, crystal. I'm going to separate them because not everybody wants the vase, or not everybody wants the candlestick holders. This is Gorham crystal from 1990s. The pattern is called Lotus. This is very Art Deco-ish to me. It's a pair of candlestick holders. You can put your tapered candle in there. I always have one. Right? Okay, table candle. Or you can put a votive. Those candles that look like pebbles, you know which I'm talking about, right? That kind of rounded, would fit in this as well. This is beautiful. You know Gorham crystal, even though it's an American brand, it's crystal from Germany. So it's excellent quality. Has like a, this almost looks like the Americana pattern by Fostoria, but it's kind of like a medallion pattern, ribbed, right? And then you see that lotus flower on top. There's two of them. Now, if you go on replacement.com, one is $50 to replace. So it gives you an idea of the quality of the crystal. This is 24% lead crystal, and I think one could be considering them kind of like collector's item because they didn't make them for very long. So this is a pair of candlesticks in the lotus pattern for Gorham. The next item goes with it, but again, not everybody wants the vase, so I'm not going to do it as a set of 3. The next one is the matching vase. Same thing, 24% lead crystal. It's the same pattern, the lotus pattern, so it's got like 3 here, and it's a very tall bud vase. Definitely can put a couple of roses in there. Daffodils, not too much because it's narrow, very narrow at the bottom. I don't know if you can see, right? It's not a lot, so just one big bloom would be perfect. Hydrangea, for instance. What I love about it is the star pattern at the bottom. Look at it, almost looks like a kaleidoscope, right? It's so pretty. It's a beautiful vase. If you're looking for a crystal vase that's not too imposing, too big, too in your face, this is the one. So it matches this, but I'm selling them separate because, again, some people just want the candlesticks and others just want the vase, but you know, you might want to purchase both. It's a gorgeous one. Same thing. The lotus flower on top. It's very clear. It's nice heavy crystal, and I think those patterns are timeless because they're elegant, they're feminine, they still have a touch of modern with the base here with that star pattern and the medallion, so they kind of fit in any decor. Flared, lots of sparkle on that one. Really like the vase. and I love the candlestick holders. Okay, when I come back, I have 2 more. Okay, swan people, swan collectors, this was very difficult to ID. This is pottery. It's a swan towel holder for your bathroom. It was a thing in the 80s and the 90s. So I have a towel here. Let me roll it. I'm going to show you how you use it now. It was very hard to ID. I've seen a lot of swan towel holders. None with the swan's head so curved that the beak touches the neck, or the back of it has kind of like an indentation or design. This one is very simple. Initially, I thought it was a Hager pottery because the glaze is very much a Hager type glaze. Well, so you put your towels like this. If you have a guest bathroom, you know, a little powder room, hand towels, or you can put your face towels. So that's really what they are. They're purely decorative, but really cute nonetheless. Okay, I found it. Almost the same. Department stores Ames. Pfaffsgraf, you know, the stoneware guys, had those made for Ames with their rose pattern. So they had the roses here, and then they had the roses in the front. But they weren't signed or stamped Pfaffsgraf at the bottom. And I think this is one of them, but not with that pattern. So they must have made them for the department store without the pattern, because that's the only one that has the rounded here, right? And the beak touching the neck. So I think this is a Pfaffsgraf, but because they were made for a department store, they probably just had a sticker at the time. It's in perfect condition. It's a satin, super smooth finish. And if you like swans, obviously you're going to get it because we said, let's buy all the swans, right? But it's so elegant, and you know what? You don't have to be stuck with putting towels. You can have a candle placed here. Let me see, what do I have in here that could look past for a candle holder? Yeah, that's a little bit too big. Let's find something small. Maybe something like this. Okay, so you can rest a candle on it, or you just use it like this. I think it's beautiful. It's the beauty is in the finish. It's so smooth. You can feel, right, or hear it. So yeah, I think this is a Pfaffsgraf. Is that how you pronounce it? It's such a bizarre name, okay? I think that a lot of people would have an issue with pronouncing it, right? But look at it. Darling, peaceful face. We're going to say it's sleeping. And it's slightly off-centered. Yeah, just like the swans do. You see here, there's less room here than there. So it's slightly off. They thought about everything. Very lifelike, beautiful color. Hey, you can put a soap on it, all right? But it's a bathroom decor. Do whatever you want, but buy all the swans. Okay. My last item. Now that I have a new vanity, if you didn't see the video, I posted it yesterday for my bathroom. You better believe that I struggled. I struggled to let go of this one. Okay, so we're going to talk about a company called Tressman. Well, we're going to say it in French. Tressman et Voigt. V-O-G-T, not like John Voight. Tressman and Voigt did a lot of porcelain from Limoges. A lot of it was hand painted, obviously, but they were mostly doing porcelain for the export to the American market. They started in 1880 something, and they closed in 1907. They merged with other company. This is T&V, Tressman and Voigt. So very clearly, this is before 1907. I'm going to say that this is 1905 or so. So it's about my grandmother's age. Let me show it to you before you lose patience with me. Okay, it's a vanity tray with a powder puff box. It is in the most amazing of condition. There's not even, or barely any, nothing. The gold is still there, all of it, 24 karat gold. What's interesting about it is that when you look at the porcelain powder puff thing, so you would put your talcum powder in there, and then you would have a little puff, right? So you either put body powder in there, or you can use it for jewelry, hair, whatever. So it says underneath here, TNV Limoges, France. So we know that's between 1882 and 1907. The tray, very interestingly, the tray says Vienna, Austria, right here. But when you look around, there's a bunch of stamps, right, into the actual clay. And there's one here that says TK. TK is TK Leonard, Austria, Bavaria, that whole area. So the tray was made in Austria. The powder puff, when you feel them, you can feel they're a little bit different, is made in France. But they have the same design. Why? Because a lot of companies back in those days, and that's why I'm thinking this is the earlier part of TNV Limoges, would actually send the porcelains to Limoges to have it hand painted there. That was the specialty, not just making the porcelain, but painting the porcelain. So what I think happened is that this is kind of like a partnership with TK Leonard, Austria. They made the tray, sent the trays over to have them hand painted. TNV added the powder thing, and it probably was a vase or something else with it. It's all hand painted in Limoges. So, and they were either shipped back to Austria to be sold as Limoges, because hand painted in Limoges is Limoges, or they were sent to the American market. Probably the latter, because this is where I found it, on the American market. Then they started making their own. That's why I don't think this is from 1907 when they closed the factory. I think this is more like 1905, perhaps even earlier. This is not Victorian. This is more towards the Art Nouveau. It's not Art Deco, obviously, but it's not flourished enough to be Victorian, 1880s, 1890. But this particular little thing here is more Art Nouveau to me than anything else. So I'm thinking this is very early 1900, 1905. I don't think this was ever used. There's not a scratch. The gold is intact. There's no crazing. There is no hairline. This was in a curio cabinet its entire life, and it's over 100, possibly 120 years old. Here's the inside of it. It's gorgeous. It is absolutely stunning. Let me show you on the tray the flowers. And it's signed, by the way, right here. And we're going to try CHS. Painted by CHS. Don't know who that is. Let's go on the lid and see if it's... And this lid is hand painted by EMS. Very tiny signature right here, EMS, okay? I could have done my homework and found out who are those painters, and I would probably give me a better idea of the date, but you have to trust me on this one. This is not 1907. This is more like earlier, just based on the little gold thing. It's gorgeous. And it's in amazing condition. I can't even say you know, patina or anything consistent with age. It looks like it came out of the factory yesterday, literally. So you put it on your vanity or a dresser. If you don't want to put powder in there, that's fine. What else can I say? This is absolutely extraordinary. It might be one of my best finds so far this year with the fish. Okay, that's one of the reasons why I said this was a very exciting week for Frenchy and Tubby, because I found some really cool stuff. This is spectacular. Totally would keep it, but I'm looking for a Nippon one. So once I set my mind on something, you know, you can present all of the most beautiful porcelains in the world, but for my vanity, I would prefer a Nippon. Okay, the fish, I mean, come on. See, now, I would put that on the wall. First of all, I'd be too scared of damaging it, so it would definitely be on the wall. Why have the fake bass on your wall when you can have this? Okay, and this is... Oh, I forgot the tiffin. Oh my god, I would keep everything. So you tell me down below which one is your favorite and what would you want. This is so cool. I know I collect that stuff, okay, but I want you to start collecting it too. And no, nothing's going to happen to you because you have a piece of manganese or uranium glass in your house, you know. There's plenty of collectors. They're not all rushed to the hospital with some kind of obscure illness. Okay, these, I would keep those. Okay, that would be it. This is everything that's coming up tomorrow in the shop at 5 p.m. You comment down below, you tell me which one is your favorite. And that would be it. So, thumbs up if you like these items. Subscribe right here in the corner. Hit that bell button so you get notified whenever I post a new video. And find me on Facebook and Instagram at Frenchy and Tubby, where I post ahead of time pictures of the items and prices if you want to know ahead, so you can get ready behind your keyboard at 5 p.m. Some of the things like this, for instance, I suspect will be gone real fast. It's a true collector's item, okay? And I'll say it again, I'm the only one who sells it right now. It's not like one of those hard sell speech. It's true. Nobody's selling it right now. I'm the only one. So Frenchy and Tubby, the link is down below. And then, of course, visit the shop if you want to see close-ups, better pictures, in particular of this gorgeous thing here, this stiffened glass vase with the ruffle. It's so fluid. I wish I could show you the iridescence on it via this lighting here, but it's no good. Look at the pictures online. You're going to really see it's gold, basically. And that would be it. I will see you next week. Thank you for supporting my shop and believing in me. Those of you who've been around since the beginning, you remember the thrift and resell challenge from years gone? Who would have thought I would end up doing this, right? I'll say it again. If I could, I'll do it 24/7. Oh, and I got into Whatnot. I'm not on Whatnot, okay? Don't go rush there. But I discovered Whatnot. I don't know. I got to think about it, okay? I got to think about it. But it would be cool to do live auctions so I can get to talk to you live, right? I just don't know if I could ever squeeze the time for that. I barely have time to do this. I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.